Hello. Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you. Fine.
And you said you're
Should I
from
introduce?
Bangladesh?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been taught yesterday. I was taught that when someone is from Bangladesh, we call him Bangladeshi.
Yeah. It's the nationality. Bangladesh is the
Yeah.
name of the country. Bangladesh is the nationality, and Bangla is our mother tongue.
Oh, yeah, that's new for me. But thanks for joining today.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you too.
And how long have you been learning English?
I am actually 37, and
Okay.
I've been I've been a student of English language and literature. I finished my graduation in this discipline, and now I am serving as an English teacher. I give my classes to students of up to high school and sometimes college also for the literature.
Yeah.
And I was introduced to Dr. Priscilla by my brother-in-law Muntasir Simon. Remember him? He
Mm-hmm.
is my brother-in-law, and my
Oh,
son, yeah, my son Ryan
okay.
had a few sessions with Dr. Priscilla uh, last month, and we
Mm-hmm.
became fan of Dr. Priscilla after that. And by
Okay.
following, and throughout the following this page, I got to know about you as well. Uh, you're from Algeria, we know it.
Yeah.
And if you can see the difference between my outfit and Peter's, it's clear we are in winter. It's
Yeah.
December here, so we are in the northern hemisphere. So we are in winter. Peter is in southern hemisphere, so he's in summer in his country.
Yeah, it's very hot over here.
Yeah, we understand
Yeah.
looking at the dress.
It's cold here in my country too. It was raining cats and dogs yesterday, and today all the mountains are full of snow. So everything is white there.
Oh,
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, Har. I heard you
Thank
saying
you.
you're Ryan's father, right?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Yeah, I can just tell you that I watched several videos of Ryan,
Thank you.
classes, recorded classes, and that
Yes.
he is a very intelligent student. He's very dynamic, and his
Thank you.
English is very good.
Yeah, we actually were very careful about his English. Me and my wife, we are both from English discipline, so we are very careful from the very beginning. Kids in our country usually comes to learn Hindi language, the Indian language, from their
Okay.
very early childhood, and we're very careful so that we our kid doesn't follow the same pattern. And usually, Bangladeshi people are not good in English. Since we are both students of English, we actually know the basic reasons why students are not so good in English. So we try to avoid that path and make Ryan go in the different way so that he becomes really fluent and comfortable in English.
Yeah, and
So the
he
hard
is.
work has
He's very
paid off.
fluent in English.
Thank you, thank you. I hope he'll
Yeah.
grow.
Uh-huh. Okay, thanks for joining. Yeah, I would be glad if others joined us. I don't know if they will join in a few minutes or not. So we will walk the talk till others join. So
Let me interrupt here, Haas, because
mhm,
what I need to do is the best way to train someone to do what you want them to do is to set the example. As Ahar has said, both his wife and himself are good in English and they want Ryan to be good. So they set an example of the expectation that this is the way it is. And this is the same thing that I'm going to do for our classes. If someone has the intent of coming, they can always come early, but 10 minutes after the doors are closed, so that this will encourage them to either watch live, and there are 10 people actually watching live now.
mhm,
And it could be that these 10 people did not have access to a video camera, or they didn't want to get up, or whatever the reasons are. It is completely free and it's totally up to them to participate at the level that they wish. But if by I'm not letting anyone else in now because I will be setting the precedent that it is okay to arrive late. And that is not the case. I don't, whatever the reason is, everyone had the same 24 hours to
Yeah.
be here, and I send out a reminder. So I'm not saying that this isn't important to other people because something may come up and I may have to leave, but we will set the routine that this is what the expectation is, that we will start at whatever time I say, and this. Now, before I let you continue, Hoss, I wanted to tell everyone that I have a brand new camera, and that brand new camera was not free. I had to purchase the camera. So when I ask you all about purchasing classes, you don't have to purchase a class from me, because my sites are on other things and my sites are going to be at a higher price in 2021. That those of you who can't afford me now, you definitely will not be able to afford me in 2021. But what you can do in 2021 is comment on the YouTubes, comment on the Facebook page, comment on the business page. It will only be those individuals that I'll start to open up my free sessions to. And if this isn't something that you want to participate in, that is okay as well. Because there are like 50 billion people out there. So everything that I do isn't for you. Everything that you do isn't for someone else. And I understand that. But I'm just saying, for those of you who want the benefit of what I have to offer at a discounted or free, there will be rules that you will need to comply with. So I had said yesterday that this is my commercial. Some of you may be the recipient of just one-on-one classes just because you always show up, like Peter. Peter always shows up. So maybe I'll just say, Peter, can we have a class today? And I think he would be over the moon if I said, I'd like to have a class with you. And during that class, I will just determine what has Peter learned by coming to the free classes. So I know he's learned the phrasal, the idiom over the moon. I've heard him say it, and that's amazing. I'm excited. And I love little Ryan. Ryan, he is a prodigy. He's advanced for his little age. And he is, I'm sure he makes you proud. I'm sure he makes his mom and dad proud right now. But when he's older, he is going to be just like Haas Ben. I am so proud of you, Haas, from where you were, 11 months ago, and the way that you can take control of and moderate a session without much intervention, or really without any intervention for me. That I expect to see you in a few years, probably doing something in America or in an English speaking country. And, your mom is going to be proud. I'm going to be proud. And so that's all that I have to say for now. So these will be the only individuals that will be participating today, Haas, just Peter and Ashar. I will not allow anyone else in because I'm setting that precedence. I'll look in the Facebook page to see if there are any questions, and I'll post those if there are any. But there are 9 people watching from my Facebook page, not Tune In, because I went to Tune In. I went to Tune Your English yesterday. So today I am recording live in Speak Excellent English. The topics is whatever you choose. Thank you. I'm muting my microphone now.
And Doctor, if I can add one thing.
Sure.
Doctor, you look much younger than I saw you last month. We know you're over 67, but
it's my camera.
Maybe you look younger. It looks like you had a different haircut, and you don't even look close to 67. Okay, that's really surprising. If I tell
that's
people
what I
that,
always tell her. She always look younger than her real age. Yeah, and this all due to practice.
And that's probably costing her more money, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Now you can carry
Yeah.
on, right? How's, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that. So I was about to say that I was about to harp on the things that Dr. Priscilla was saying earlier in this session, that as an exchange to the things she's giving to us as students, as learners, the simple things that we can do is to go to the YouTube channel, to subscribe, to leave comments, and to watch as many videos as we can, since the sessions are still free. So it doesn't really cost an arm or a leg. You can go there and leave a comment, and as simple as that. So do you have anything particular to talk about today? Peter, do you have something particular to discuss today?
Yeah, today my main reason for coming to this session is to get a chance to speak in English because I told you that I don't have a speaking partner over here. And I know by so doing, I'm helping myself because I'm improving my skills because I understand a lot of English. I know more content concerning English. I can understand Native Americans speak English, but when it comes to my part of speaking, that is my biggest challenge. And that's the puzzle that made me get interested in coming because I just left my job earlier than my normal routine to come and have a conversation with you. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for that. So I have a problem with getting stuck whenever I want to speak. I can't speak for like 10 minutes without getting stuck. I stumble over words. Sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to say next because I feel like it's overwhelming me. So I cannot put ideas
Yeah,
in the correct
I
order.
think,
So that's a
yeah,
challenge for me because I never practiced. That's why I'm here, and I don't know if you might have any
yeah,
tip to help
I can,
in
I can
that.
totally understand you, since I've already been through the same situation when I started learning English, and it was like very tough for me to hold a long English conversation, especially when it is with a native English speaker. I would never think it would work for me to talk as fluent as I am right now with the native English speakers. It was a dream for me. But the
Oh,
key,
really?
yeah, yeah. And the recipe for that was practicing. I used to listen a lot and to talk a lot as well, even if I'm making a lot of mistakes. So when you make mistakes, it means that the learning process is taking place in a very good way. So never be ashamed of making mistakes. Go for it. Just jump. This is what Dr. Priscilla always say.
Now, I was thinking about recording myself speaking over any topic, and I don't know if that is a good plan or a good strategy for me to improve on my speaking because I can record myself and listen to my recordings and see whether I'm making mistakes or
So I will
I don't
speak
know
to
if I can say.
I'll speak to that for you, Peter. That is
Yeah.
an excellent idea for you to record yourself. Not so much, well, two things. Record yourself even if you make a mistake. However, even though you are recording yourself, you may not recognize that you are making a mistake.
Hmm.
But there are some videos. If I don't send it to you, just ask me to send you one. I'll send you one video where there is a conversation. I say something, then you say something. I say
Okay.
something, and then you say something. As you, after doing that exercise, use your cell phone or whatever device you have and record yourself talking about whatever it is the conversation that I send to you is about. Then you can hear the things that you may say incorrectly, or not, but in addition to what we're doing today, whenever Haas says something to you, I want you to repeat back to him. So what I hear you saying is something, something, something. So listen to what I'm going to share with you, what I'm talking about. So Haas, I'm
Hmm.
so glad that you took the time yesterday to talk about I don't know if I would call it a natural disaster, but I think it is a natural disaster
Yeah,
that happened in your country. So
yeah.
take about 30 seconds and tell me again about that natural disaster, maybe 30 seconds.
Okay. That's a great question, doctor. I heard you asking me about the natural disaster that happened in my country like 4 months ago. It was an earthquake, and it struck my city around 7:30 in the morning. I was sleeping. I had no idea what was happening at that time, and it was only a few minutes later that I recognized it was an earthquake. Everything was shaken, and yeah, we went out.
Okay. So now, Peter, what I heard Haas say, so we're having a conversation, but I'm practicing good English because what he said was in good form. So what I heard you say, Haas, is that it was around 7:30 in the morning. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
right.
at 7:30 in the morning, was everyone asleep or is the people typically up at this time?
Well, everyone was sleeping, doctor.
Okay. So
It's winter.
what
It's
I want
winter,
you to
so
do,
people might be
Haas, is
sleeping.
to talk in a little bit longer sentence so that I can repeat what you say, because I'm
Okay.
learning how to speak English correctly.
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
was around 7:30 in the morning. Is that when most people are awake or asleep?
Yeah, it was very early in the morning, doctor, and that's the time where everyone is like sleeping, a deep sleep, doctor.
Oh, so people are in a deep sleep around 7:30?
Yeah, exactly, doctor. People were
Maybe it's because it's
sleeping at
winter.
that time.
In winter, people tend to sleep. In winter, people tend to sleep longer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why people are sleeping
Okay.
in the
So,
quilt and in the blanket. They must be having
but
good time.
you make a good point, Ashar, but still people have to get up and go to work. So
Yeah.
whether they want to
Yeah,
sleep or
but
not.
during summer, it's okay. During summer, people get up early, go to work. But in winters, we tend to wake up late. We
Oh,
have
you know,
some.
as her, it was Friday, and on Fridays people don't work, so this is the reason they were sleeping.
Oh, okay.
And it was
So
summer, yeah.
do you have a weekly? Do you have weekly holiday on Friday in your
Yeah,
country?
yeah, yeah.
Right,
On
we have
Friday
it too.
and on
We have it
Saturday
too.
as well.
I think it's
We also
global. I think I mean, for the norm, everyone works Monday through Friday. That's the norm. Or
Yeah.
either they work Monday through Thursday. Okay. All right. But anyway, let me get back to Peter. So, Peter, the point of this is when you are practicing, just practice saying what you've already heard. Like, so you're saying that it was 7:30 in the morning, or as Azhar is saying, it's winter time. So, Haas, moderate a conversation between Peter and Azhar just to encourage Azhar because Azhar speaks well also. So,
Yeah.
thank
Peter,
you.
Peter can listen and try to rephrase what he has heard. This is what is
Okay.
going to be very good for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, doctor. Well, I had like a question that was floating in around my head, and I just want to ask you both the same question, and I just want you to tell me about this situation using your own words, and you will start as her, and Peter will try to answer you, to respond to you, using the technique that Dr. Priscilla was explaining. Okay, Peter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Azhar,
Yeah,
tell me about the one situation you were embarrassed in.
I have to remember. I have to remember about it. I was embarrassed, right?
Yeah.
I don't actually remember at the moment. Can you just shift to a different topic, which is close to
Um,
embarrassment?
okay.
Is not. Really,
Okay, I'm going to
it's quite
divert my
embarrassing now.
answer
It's
to choose another
embarrassing now.
topic.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to talk
Okay.
about different topic. I'd like to talk about
Okay,
different topic.
I'm going to share my embarrassing situation, and we're going to build on conversation upon it.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I remember the one time I was going out of work. I was with one of my colleagues, and we went to the how do we call that? A supermarket. It's a public place when we only sell fruits and vegetables. A market, let's call it a market. And yeah, I didn't have the intention to buy anything at that time. So I called my mom and she told me that everything is at home. You don't have to buy anything. And I thought that my friend is the one who is going to buy some fruits. So we went to the to that place, to the store, and each one was waiting for the other one to to buy, to ask the salesman to give him some fruits. So I was looking at him and he was looking back to me in a weird way. We was like waiting for each other. And then the salesman said, "Who's going to buy? If you don't have anything to buy, you can just go." So yeah, I was like very embarrassed at that time, and I didn't really know what to do. So my friend had to buy some. I remember it was apples, some apples, in order to overcome that thing that was embarrassing for both of us. So this was the most recent one. Okay, well, can any one of you retell the story using his own words? You can start, Azhar.
I mean, you want me to tell me your story, or do you want me to make my own story?
Well, you can retell my story, or you can tell me your own story.
Okay, so let me tell me one of my own stories. It was last year. My parents were supposed to visit my house. They live in 100 kilometers away from their house. They were supposed to come to visit our house with 13 or 14 guests. Okay, and
Okay.
they told me to buy return tickets, bus tickets, return tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 14 or 15 tickets altogether. Okay, and each ticket cost nearly $3. So
Okay.
14 tickets were kind of uh, nearly $1,000. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I bought return tickets in advance. It was probably for Wednesday, and I went to the bus counter and bought the 14 advance tickets. But
Mm-hmm.
when they were supposed to board on the bus, it was seen that I made a mistake with the date. I actually bought tickets for the previous day, and
Oh.
almost $1,000 were almost $1,000 were gone. And those bus people, the people there were kind. I could make them realize that it was an honest mistake. I didn't notice it, so I had to pay a bit as a kind of punishment, and they gave me seats. Otherwise, the seats were not available on that day, the day we missed
Oh.
out. Okay, so it
Yeah.
was really embarrassing because my parents would take me really irresponsible. I couldn't manage tickets for them, even though they told me to book the tickets almost a week earlier. I had enough
Mm-hmm.
time, but because I was not bit concerned, I missed out the date, and I was all about to lose $1,000. It
Mm-hmm.
was really embarrassing.
Yeah, I can imagine how embarrassing was that. So I heard you saying, Peter, listen to me, please. So Azhar, I heard you saying that you went to buy some bus tickets for your parents, and then instead of buying tickets for that day, you bought tickets for the previous day, right? Yeah, so I can imagine it was very embarrassing for you. So, Peter, this is what you're supposed to do. It's
Yeah.
you can tell a story, a situation where you were embarrassed, or you can retell us hers, one, or my situation using your own words.
Yeah. I can tell a story.
Hmm.
You've
That would be
just
a good
said
idea.
that you one day were going to your place of work with your colleague, and you
Okay.
hopped into the market where they sell fruits and vegetables, and you 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 didn't want to buy anything because there are lots of
Hmm.
fruits and vegetables at your place. So you called your mother, and your mother told you that there was no need to buy fruits and vegetables, and you thought that your friend was supposed to buy because
Yeah.
you could not buy. And you went up to the store with your friend, and you just started looking at each other, and you
Yeah.
looked at him, expecting him to make the purchase, but he was not buying and he was looking back to you. And it was a very embarrassing moment for you because the seller asked you whether you are intending to buy and told you that if you're not intending to buy the fruits and vegetables, you had to leave.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
very
exactly.
interesting. So your friend had to buy to, to get away from the embarrassment.
Pause,
Yeah.
pause. Why didn't you friends share the cost and say both of your face together at the same time?
I'm sorry.
Both were embarrassed, obviously. Both were embarrassed
Yeah,
before
we were
the
both embarrassed.
so you
Yeah,
could
we were
share
both
the cost.
embarrassed because yeah,
You could
because
share the cost together.
no one of us had the intention to buy fruits or vegetables. So
That's what
I
you
can
do. You
still
should.
feel embarrassed whenever I remember that situation. It will remain embarrassing for me.
I'm sorry for you. That was so sad.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay, doctor,
things happen. Don't
you
worry.
see how great was Peter?
As I listen, as I listened to Peter give his rendition of what you said, that
Yeah.
was very good. And this is what you want to do, Peter, is listen carefully to what someone is saying and then try to repeat. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it gives you something to talk about. It gives you something to contribute. So what I understood, and I don't expect you to say it like I said it, is that you I'm deliberately changing what Haas said, but it's the same thing. He and a few of his friends had decided one Saturday to go to the market. None of them had any intentions of purchasing anything, but neither of them knew that the other person had no intentions of purchasing something. Because typically what happens, if you decide to go to the market, you're going to buy something. So actually, everyone that went was anticipating that the other person was going to buy. In
At least
fact,
something.
Haas even called
At
his
least
mother
something.
and asked if she wanted something. But she said she had everything that she needed. She didn't need anything, but she thanked him for being so considerate. But Haas, no bother, because other people were buying something. And then as it turned around, the market owner or manager was like, what are these boys or guys doing in here? Nobody's buying anything. So he posed the question, when are you all going to make your selection? And I would imagine that each one of them looked at the other. What are you going to buy? What are you going to buy? And no one was going to buy anything. So the store manager asked them to leave because that is what we
Yeah.
call truancy. You're impeding
Wasting.
progress.
You were wasting their time if you're not buying anything.
And then we heard Azhar say his embarrassing moment was, this is incredible because this should take really, Haas's experience did not contain any
Cost you
loss of
money.
money,
Yeah. But it
but
costs you money,
Azhar
right?
lost money because he wasn't thinking about the scheduling of one day versus another. And had he thought, he was able to save some of the money by being a good person, speaking kindly to the attendant and saying, I made an honest mistake. And
Yeah.
by making that honest mistake and just asking for some type of reimbursement, he was a little bit penalized. He used the word punished, but he was actually penalized for making the mistake. And I understand that the airlines do it. The airlines will say, if you cancel your flight, we will charge you or penalize you this amount. One of the reasons that they do this is because someone else could have used that seat if you had not made that mistake, possibly. So that was good. So these are things that you want to do. Listen to podcasts, Peter, and just try to retell the podcasts that you hear. I am going to start doing podcasts, hopefully in 2021. You can listen to my podcast. You can continue to listen to my videos on YouTube and come to these classes and
Yeah, I
practice.
will do that.
And I will be continuously over the moon every time you make a comment.
Thank you so much.
All
You're
right.
so kind.
So what we can do for Peter, and Peter is just so polite, and he's just on, he's really pensive, and I can tell that you're not comfortable. Aha is very comfortable. I want you to
Yeah.
become comfortable, Peter, just talking to me just like I'm your little sister. Like, hey, sis, how are you? I'm fine, bro. Everything's well.
Well, one thing I noticed in Peter is that he is a bit slow, but he is grammatically almost accurate.
Mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
That's something I hardly find in my country.
mm-hmm,
Students they make a lot of mistakes about the grammar. Although grammar is not that important when you are talking, it's
mm-hmm,
the communication. But still, it sounds really bad. It sounds embarrassing to use wrong grammar. Peter
Mm-hmm.
is almost making the grammatical sections all clear. Maybe he's not pacing up the way we it should have been comfortable, but I guess he will be more comfortable and more frequent as time goes on. But he has got the basics right.
right. And I
Yeah.
think
Well, I'm a slow speaker myself.
what
I'm a
Peter
slow
has
speaker myself.
what Peter has
And I
said is
speak
that he
fast.
doesn't have an opportunity to speak with someone. So when you don't
Yes,
have someone to speak with or some system in place that you can model, then it becomes a little static, like, oh, should I speak now? Yes, speak now. Okay. It's more robotic, but practice with some of the YouTube that I will send you. Now, when I get off of this session, I don't think about Peter. So if you haven't received something, Peter just asked me to send you one video. I'm not going to go through looking for all the videos, but just remind me that I'm going to send you a video for you to practice with. Oh, look.
Hi,
Hi,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Is there?
Hello. It's good to see you. Okay. No school today?
no school today now.
No school today?
It's 10:15 p.m. here.
Oh,
Oh.
why are you up? You should be in bed.
We'll be
Ryan?
bed soon. Yes, after
Okay,
that.
well, good night, Ryan.
Repeat.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. How's mommy? How is your mommy?
Please sleep in bed.
Well, tell her I said hello tomorrow morning. Okay?
Okay.
All right. It's good to see you, Ryan.
Have a good day. Tell her have a good day.
Have a happy good day.
Have a good day. Yes. Tell her have a good
Thank you, Ryan.
day.
Oh, he's so cute and sweet. I love Brian.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. All right. I'm muting my microphone, Haas.
Okay, so as her, you were saying that Peter has a great grammatical level. He doesn't make a lot of grammatical mistakes. So I do agree totally with you. I believe that the only thing he struggles with is self-confidence. I used to have the same problem as him. He just needs to work on this. He just needs that boost of self-confidence, and he will overcome all of his problems. Okay, Peter?
Okay, thanks
And
for pointing.
I guess both Peter and Hoss are of the same age, very close to each other
Yeah,
by
I'm
age.
28
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah.
So that's normal
He's
for
1 year
non-native
older.
speakers. Yeah, so for non-native speakers, it's very simple. It's very normal. As time goes on, it should develop. Yeah, for Peter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Azhar, you said you're a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about some of the tips you tell to your students in order they improve their English level. One important thing you always repeat and harp on.
Well, the thing is that in our country, English is taught in a way, in a system that is erroneous. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because our mother tongue is Bengali, and when a kid in our country starts developing language acquisition skills, they start with listening, obviously, because
Mm-hmm.
the parents and the grandparents they call the kid by their name. They tell little things about ball, milk, baba, that's father, daddy, mommy. These are the things that the kids listen at the very beginning. Okay, that is the development of listening skill. And when the kids grow up to like 15 months, 18 months, I'm sorry, 18 months, they start responding by saying very little words: mommy, daddy, milk,
Mm-hmm.
water. That is the development of speaking skill. which is a natural way. Kids will develop speaking, listening skill first, then it will go to speaking skill. And when the kids are about like 2.5 years or 3 years, we tend to give them a little book of introduction to the alphabets, A, B, C,
Okay.
D. Okay, that is the acquisition of reading skill. Very basic reading though, but the kids start to know the words, very basic alphabet letters, etc. And then after a few months they start writing something, very basic writing alphabet. So the natural process is number one, listening, number two, speaking, number three, reading, and number three, writing. These are the four skills
Okay.
that the sequence. This is the sequence that kids should learn any language. Okay, we learn Bengali, our mother tongue, this way: LSRW. But for English, that system is reverse, because not many people speak English in our country, so kids don't have a chance to listen to a lot of English when they are very young, like a year or 12 months, say, or 15 months, 18 months. They start this foreign language learning from the reading skill. When they become like 3 or 3.5 years old, we give them A, B, C, D, those alphabet letter introduction books, and we tell
Okay.
them to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, so they start from reading skill, then they move on to a writing skill. They hardly have any experience with listening or speaking skill. Okay, so I guess the way they learn mother tongue is not the same way they learn the foreign language. That's why they never become as comfortable or fluent in the foreign language compared to the mother tongue.
Okay.
Now,
Um,
yeah,
okay. Okay. Forgive the
okay,
interruption. What advice you would give to someone who would always say that he doesn't have a partner to practice with?
well, I what I did with my kid is that we didn't ever always have time to talk to him, but we never let him watch or listen to um, bad English or Hindi language, which is very common in our country. The Indian language. Okay, that is also very common in our country, but we didn't want our kid to listen or watch uh, Hindi programs or Indian English programs. We always try to
Okay.
make sure that they learn American English or British English or even Australian English. Okay, so from when he was like 7 months, 8 months, or 9 months, we always used to watch him YouTube cartoons or videos where it was pure, you know, native speaking, native accent. Okay, and
Okay.
we were able to put the basics in him from the very beginning. Okay, that's why
Okay.
the way he learned our mother tongue is the same way he learned English language as well. That's why it was easy for him to cope with the foreign language as well as the mother tongue. But unfortunately, most kids do not have this advantage. Most parents don't think the same way. Okay, it's because we were both me and my wife are English graduates, so we realized that what the mistakes kids actually do, or the parents do to their kids about English language acquisition, we were able to overcome that.
Okay.
It needs an environment. The thing is that we need to create an environment which is healthy, which is comfortable for kids to learn English. At present, English is taught as a language. English is taught as a syllabus to pass the exam. Okay, the beauty, the challenge, the comfort, and the fun of learning a new language is not there. That's why they take it as a book, as a textbook, as a syllabus, which is sort of a struggle for them, not a thing to have fun, not a thing to learn new things. That's why they don't enjoy English, learning English a lot. But my kids had a very different way. That's why he's a bit
Okay.
advanced.
Okay. Well, I appreciate all of those things you were saying, especially when it comes from someone who is from the business, right, doctor? This is the expression that is used,
Yes,
or in the business.
either one is correct. And for me, that was a great that was great information for me because I didn't know that, but it
Mhm.
makes perfectly good sense to teach something differently that is not your native language. So I was
Yeah.
making my copious notes so that they start out by reading, which makes perfectly good sense. However, in my mind is how do they start reading?
That's
And
my case too.
what was
Eh,
this? What is that, Peter?
That was the same case for me. I started by reading.
Okay. But when you first picked up to read, Peter, how do you
Yeah.
do that? How do you pick up a book to read? I mean, I have an idea. Did the teacher give you the book? Did the book come from school?
yeah, yeah. It says A, read, say
Yeah.
A, then it's B, say speak B,
Okay.
speak, say C,
Yeah,
say
the
D,
teacher, then you
like this,
imitate
right?
the teacher's accent. So if you're pronouncing something wrong, you get it wrong.
Uh-huh. Now,
It's very hard because you pronounce a word the way it's written.
now, many years ago, of course, when I started school, English is my first language, but I remember the book. It was about Spot. Spot is a dog. Okay.
Okay.
So we have this book, which is the same, but because we spoke English at home, I could say dog, animal, whatever. You know, there was a language that we had, just as any culture has a language. When I went to school, we but we had books at home as well. But children would have a book, a little primer about something about this size and maybe 5 pages with a big dog on it, Spot. So you know, Spot is the dog.
Mhm.
You just know that Spot is the dog. No one has to really tell you that Spot is the name of the dog, but this is not Spot. So
Yeah,
whenever you
sure.
see whenever we saw the picture of the dog, whatever dog, it was Spot.
Mhm.
Then we would have a simple sentence that says, "See Spot run." And the dog is running, on the picture, the dog is
Mhm.
running. You kind of know he's running. See Spot run. And I can just see it just as it see Spot run, see Spot run, see Spot run. We just knew it. We don't know what we're reading. We're just saying words. See Spot run. Then there's Jack. See blank run. Jack! See Jack run. See Jack run.
Mhm.
Or it could be Mary. See Mary run. See Mary run. Then our parents, we'd write C, and we would write the letter E backwards because it would be like, what difference does it make? It looks the same. My
P and
mom,
D,
my
yeah,
mom would put all of this stuff on the refrigerator. Like she's, oh, good job, good job, good job. She would put this on the refrigerator. And over
Yeah.
time, it developed. The missing piece is that in the Bangla, when the Bangla teacher is saying, see Spot run, it sounds like something else. It doesn't sound like the native English see Spot run, although they are saying it. And so that was it. So Haas, do you remember me sharing that video of this person from maybe India? And he was going into the lesson and I could not understand anything. And
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
I could not understand anything. I could not
that's
understand anything. He,
Okay.
that's what I said. Indian English, Indian accent. It's really, really incomprehensible. It's really, I mean, awkward sounding. But
Yeah.
most people here, even I speak like that. I can't. I totally ignore it because I'm born in this region. We have this pattern of speaking, but we try to
Yeah.
overcome the thing.
right,
Okay,
right.
doctor, we're not offending the Indian accents, English accents, or other accents, but we're trying to tell people that they should better start by learning the native English accents, and then they will be able to understand other accents.
Exactly. This is what I believe. When you can
Yeah.
understand, you do not have to worry about changing your accent, but
Yeah.
listen to English, whether it's British, Australian, or American English. When you can understand those accents, it is going to be the bridge that is the communicating bridge for you and moving you forward in your business, in your organization, or whatever it is that you wish to do. But as a person speaking English and you have a Chinese accent and you have an Indian accent and you're trying to both communicate in English, you're hearing something that's foreign and it doesn't sound like English. So what is important is the pronunciation. You can have the accent, but you need to be able to pronounce the words so that as someone is listening to you, you can almost anticipate what the word is. That's just my take on that.
Yeah, that's what my teacher used to tell me when I was at the private school, languages school. I mean, he used to tell us to start learning the American one since it's easier than the British and the Australian one, and then any other accent. It's it's like simple. It's not very complicated at all, and you can just forget about some rules when you start speaking the American accent. So this is the reason it's considered to be easy. And then you will be able to understand other accents like the British or the Australian or any other accent.
Exactly.
So that's what I believe.
Yeah, I don't have any difficulty understanding people who will speak with me with a British accent. I don't have that much interaction with people with a British accent. But people with Russian accents, they all, to me, they sound rough. They don't sound, they sound angry or something.
Russians are angry with the Americans, no doubt about that.
What is that? What did you say?
Russians are, really politically angry with the Americans for ages, so they must sound angry.
Maybe so, but they just seem angry. Even when they're saying a kind word, it sounds angry. Rough, rough, rough. So,
Yeah, well, personally, I like the accent of people from Kenya.
okay.
I like it so much.
Uh-huh.
You're almost
Yeah,
neighbors, right?
yeah, we're
How's your
neighbors. Yeah, we're in the
Yeah.
north and they're in the south.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
East Africa, we're in East Africa.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So Haas, we have about 2 minutes and I'm going to hop off. You may stay if you wish.
Okay.
And if you want other people to come in, you can invite them in. But I will be, someone came in, but as I said, respecting my time, I will not allow them in because the time for them to be on was when I said that I would be on from 10:30. If I'm going to come on tomorrow, I'll let you know. Peter, a CTA is a call to action. A CTA is call to action. Azhar, a CTA is call to action. So your call to action today, I'm going to send you the link to my business page. I want you to go to my business page and I want you to have
As
Ryan.
many shares as possible. Yeah, as many shares.
Ryan should be in bed. Ryan should be in bed now. I see Ryan around the corner.
Yeah, he was here. He was here. He's so interested.
I know.
I didn't tell him that we would be talking tonight. But he somehow got my sound talking to you. So he's peeping through the curtains and seeing if I'm still with you. So he
All right.
can't forget you.
All right.
We had a good time.
I'm going to send that to you so you can just respond. All right, Haas, I'm leaving. Thanks so much for joining me today. It was my pleasure. Haas, whenever you're ready, you can just leave. You are now in full control. I'll leave a message in the Facebook groups that they can join. If they don't have the codes or the keys, then you don't have to worry about that either.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.